Hello, my name is Kat. I sold over $100,000 last year on eBay, and I'm going to share with you tips just how you can do the same and increase your sales and profits on eBay, and we're going to do it right now. All right. I am going to start off with tip number one, which is price appropriately. If your item is priced too low or too high, buyers will not look. If you price it way lower than your competition, they might think something's wrong with the item, and you don't want that. So I suggest being either right at what the average market price is, or being 10% higher, 10% lower. You do not want to be very much off. Now, I do take into consideration the shape the item is in. If yours is new and the only other ones are listed used, of course you can command a much higher price on the market. So you do have to look at things like that. If you are unable to find comps on eBay, both listed or sold, then I suggest looking on worthpoint.com. I will put a link in the comments below for WorthPoint. It is one of the most valuable tools I use in my reselling business. I find a ton of one-off items. They're nothing like it on eBay, and they sell for hundreds of dollars. So make sure you do your research, look at what things are selling for, look at what they have sold for, because sometimes there will be a lot listed high, but when you go and filter to what's sold, you will see none of them have sold that high. So that might be an indicator that you do need to go a little bit lower than what your competition is in order to make that sale. Number two, take good photos. Nobody wants to buy your item if it doesn't look nice. You need to present your item so that your buyers want it. And I think it is very important to take clear photos. You need to have either a good camera or an updated phone to do so in order to present your item well. I am a big proponent of using white backgrounds. However, that is not necessarily necessary. I know a lot of businesses that do very well using other backgrounds. Some of them use wood grain, some of them set up props, but I think it is very, very important that you take good photos. I do have a video on how I do my professional looking on the white background photos, and I will put that up here for you guys. And I also have a lot of other tips and tricks videos. So if you are selling 5 items, it's a lot of 5. Present all 5 of them in the first photo, because if you don't, that buyer might just be scrolling looking at photos, they see one, and your price, if it's for 5, might seem really high if they only see one in the photo. So make sure that you take good photos, take photos of what you are actually selling, and put that grouping up first if it is more than one item. And you also want it to be clear. Make sure those pictures are in focus. Make sure that they are centered. I was a professional photographer 5 years before I was a nurse, and so I do have the advantage of having that experience. If you don't, definitely check out a photo video, mine or somebody else's, and improve your photos, because better photos sell more things. Next is to list consistently. And by that, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to list every day. I don't always get to list every day, but listing every day can help. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to eBay is they think it's easy. eBay is a lot of work. If you want to make a decent amount of money, as I said, I made well over 6 figures last year from eBay. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication, and you need to be very, very self-disciplined. So when I say list consistently, set yourself a goal, whether it's 3 a day or 5 a day, or maybe do 20 a week. Set yourself that goal. And I think one of the things that has really helped me, because I used to list 20 to 30 a day, and now I actually only list 10, but I have been sourcing higher priced items. And one of the things that I really like to look at is I like to list the amount I would like to make a day. So for me, I would really like to make $500 in sales a day on eBay. So in order to do that, I need to list $500 a day in items, which means I need to be able to source that. I, if you know me, do not have a problem with sourcing items. I have a whole ton. But for you, let's say you want to make $100 a day. That means you need to list $100 in items. That could be $100 item. It could be five $20 items, or it could be 10 $10 items, even five $20 or $25 items if that's what you want to do. I do sell items that low. That is important as well. You have to sell what you can find. So you might really like vintage and glass, but your area might not have very much of it to offer for you. So you really need to make sure that you can find enough items to be able to list consistently and list what you want to make. If you want to make $500 a day like I do, then you need to be listing $3,500 in items per week. I have about $114,000 listed in inventory. I have sold a little over 12,000 this month. That's because I'm sourcing these higher priced items. Now that does take more money, and over the last 2 years, I have built up to that. So I was doing a lot of like $10, $20, $30 items. However, now I'm finding a lot more $50 and $100 items, which makes me more money. So I'm listing less, which is really nice, but I'm making more. I am averaging about $300 a day compared to the $250 that I was, and I'm only listing about 10 items per day. So list what you want to sell, list consistently. Another option as far as listing, say if you're trying to grow your eBay store, if you sell 5 items, list 7. So tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna list an extra 2 items every day on top of what I sell. So if you sell 10 one day, that means you would need to list 12 to replace the 10 you sold, plus increase your store volume by 2 items. Another idea. Next is something that is very, very important. I'm going to kind of group it all together, and that is use all 80 characters. You are given 80 characters in a title. You need to use them all. Every single one. Do not use commas. Do not use semicolons. Do not put emojis, because your buyers are not searching for a comma or an emoji. So being grammatically correct in an eBay title is not a thing. It could be a thing, but you're hurting yourself if you do that. So you want to think of every single thing that the buyer might search for. You want to put the color, you want to put the size, you want to put the brand if there's a brand. You want to put the year if you know the year it was made. You want to put other descriptive items. So like with my unnamed pottery, I use studio pottery a lot. If something is signed, I put signed in the title. If it is older than 2001, it is vintage. If you're not sure, look at some other items that are similar to yours, and if they say they're vintage, I kind of roll with that. So I do use that term a little bit lightly, but I typically don't pick up much that was after 2001. So 1990s is all vintage. Use that word. People search for it. Another common term that people search for is mid-century modern. Learn these keywords that describe items that you are selling that buyers are looking for. I know kitschy is another term that lately has been pretty popular. So that's something that you could use in your title if it's appropriate. But do not use those commas. Do not use those emojis. Also, make sure that your title, the beginning, is the most important part. I will add random keywords at the end to fill up the 80 characters, but the first part is, to me, the most important. So whatever is the most pertinent to the item that you are listing, put that first. Another thing to remember is that buyers can't search the same word twice. So if you have a set of glasses and then at the end you want to put mid-century modern glasses, it won't get searched twice. So by putting the same word in your title twice, you're wasting precious real estate that you can use to help buyers find your items. Don't double put words. Don't use those colons and commas and emojis. Just use search terms that your buyer will use to find your item. I would like to take just a moment to say I really appreciate you watching me. It really does mean a lot. Take a second, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment below to let me know what you think, and subscribe if you have not subscribed. I really do appreciate you watching, so let's get back to the video. All right, this is my number one tip, and then I'm probably gonna ramble just a little bit with some other stuff, but we will finish the top 5 tips first. So my number one tip for making more money on eBay is to buy low. Seems like it would make sense, but a lot of newer people get excited about what something will sell for, and they don't think about the fees, the time, the shipping supplies, all of the things that go into it. So if you buy at 50% of what you're going to sell for, you're not going to walk away with very much money. So unless that was like a multi-quantity item or a very high priced item, like I would spend $200 to sell something for $400. My profit on that would probably only be about $100, but I'm not going to spend $4 to sell something for $10. So you need to buy low. My average buy cost is 10% of what I sell it for. So if I spend $1, I'm going to sell it for 10. If I spend 2, it's going to sell for at least 20. And why I do that is because I run constant sales and I promote my listings. So that gives me a little more advantage in the eBay search algorithm that my items will be found. Do I pay more in fees? Yeah, I do. But I buy so low, it doesn't matter. I walk away with 50 to 60% profit after all fees, all shipping supplies on almost every single item I sell. Like I said, some of those high dollar ones are an exception because I have started, spending 50 to sell it for 200. So I'm buying at 25% then. But you really want to think when you are buying. And another thing that you could take into consideration is how fast is it going to sell. If it's a popular video game and you can pay 4 and it'll sell for 10 tomorrow, I say go for it. But if it is a piece of glass that you pay for, it's going to sell for 10, it might take a few months, I probably wouldn't do it. So you really need to think about all of the time invested. Also, I wouldn't want to make only $5 or $4 in profit on a glass item that is going to take a lot of time to wrap, right? So easier to list, easier to ship. I'm a little more negotiable on my profit margin. So I have said this before, I will say it again, you do not make your money on the sale, you make it on the buy. Buy low, sell high. Seems simple, but you can get excited and forget about that. So always remember that, and that is my number one tip. And now I will tell you guys a few other little things that have helped me make over 6 figures on eBay. Number one, as I said a little bit ago, is I run constant sales. And I do not run them for longer than 5 days. My sales run from Monday through Friday and Friday to Monday. So 3 days and 5 days. Why I do that is because it gives buyers a sense of urgency that the sale is ending. If you run a sale for a month and they see it the first or second day that you put the sale on, they might be like, oh, this sale doesn't end for 28 days. I don't need to buy it now. I'll just pop it on my watch list. You just lost the sale. But if that sale ends in 2 days, they're going to be a little more likely to buy it while it's on sale. He's been being quiet. Have you been doing a very good job? Yes. Yes. He's been very quiet behind me. So Short sales, I promote. That is definitely a personal preference, and it's split about 50-50 in the resellers that I know. If you buy really popular items that sell really fast, you might not necessarily need to promote. For me, I get a lot of one-off items and items that I feel like I sell on keywords alone. Like it's not a brand or something that someone knows they're looking for, but I use good keywords so they find it when they are searching, and I want to have that boost in the search. I promote at trending rate plus 3%, which is high, but I top out at 11%. So pretty much the highest fee I would get on eBay would be about 21%. Poshmark's 20%, right? So what's the big deal? And they don't always sell promoted. So when I do trending plus 3, I used to do a flat 10% on promoted, and what I found is the trending on a lot of things was like 3 and 5%. So I'm promoting at like triple what the trending rate is. So when I do trending plus 3, that 5% turns into 8 instead of the 10 I was doing across the board before. And from what I've been told, if you promote at 5% or higher, eBay pushes your listings out to Google search. So you might get buyers from Google looking for certain items, and eBay's going to push your stuff up in those listings, and you will make more sales that way. Also, I don't think you need to ship every day. I do ship every day, Monday through Friday. I do take Saturdays off, but I ship every day, Monday through Friday, because I think if your buyers are getting stuff faster, they are gonna more likely buy more. They also see an expected delivery date. So for those of you that might be setting like 3-day handling time just to give yourself the extra time, even though you normally send it in 1 day, I would put it to 2-day. And I've thought about doing 2 days, so that way like every other day I could ship, and then that would give me a little more time to list. That is something that I'm kind of throwing around. But as you and I both know, in the age of Amazon and Amazon Prime, people are used to getting their stuff fast. They want it like now. They will buy it, and 2 minutes later they are going to ask you if you have shipped it yet. Happens to me at least once a week. Very frustrating. I'm like, hey, it's 10 o'clock at night. Can't ship till tomorrow. It happens. So make sure you ship in the right amount of time and what you promised your buyers, and also describe your items accurately. I do not do descriptions, but I do if there are flaws. So if something has a crack or a chip, I am going to mention that in the description. That will be my only description, because I don't like taking that extra time to do descriptions. That is a personal preference, and it's how I list a little bit faster. But you don't want your buyer to be surprised by a flaw in your item that they weren't aware of. So I typically will put read in my title. A couple of my viewers have said they put flawed in the title in capital letters. And you could also put see photos. Make sure you take a good photo of the flaw. If it's clothing and has a stain, if it's a breakable and has a chip, just make sure that you don't lie to them. Under promise, over deliver. That is going to make you get more sales on eBay. So I hope this video has helped you. If you want to continue seeing videos on how to improve your eBay sales, improve your knowledge, I love showing what's sold on a lot of items that most people wouldn't think about that make me a ton of profit. Tomorrow is going to be a really exciting day. I will give you guys a little spoiler, and it is the best sale thus far this weekend. Somebody bought 4 of my items that I paid $1 each. I paid $4, and they sold for $178 plus shipping in less than a month. Spoiler alert for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow will be a Monday What Sold, which are always typically my best What Sold videos because we get more sales over the weekend. I worked 12 hours today when you were watching this. I hope you guys have had an excellent weekend. I am really happy that you have joined me for this video tonight. If you're in the premiere, thank you so much. Hit the thumbs up button before you leave. If you are not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. If you would like more reseller videos like this, hit the notification bell so you know when I put out a new video. And I will see you tomorrow with another What Sold video. Bye.